in the kitchen because he's got some kind of shocking statistics about a lot of different foods.
Sure.
And we've talked about this so many times, people misunderstanding low-fat this or diet that or full-fat something or other.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of misconceptions in food.
Well, here's the good news. The good news is that people are trying to eat better, right?
That's
so
true.
they're paying attention to the labels. The bad news is that sometimes a lot of these companies are, with marketing tricks, are making you think that things are healthier or better than they really are. And so I want to kind of demystify some of these things. Let's start with the sugar, because you hear people say, well, it's low fat. That means it's also low calories. Well, not necessarily.
That's right.
Low fat may also mean higher in sugar, and your calories are still the same or if not more.
Because that's what they replace the fat with.
That's right.
Even when you look at like a low-fat or no-fat creamer or creamer replacement compared to cream, right? When they take fat out, they introduce sugars and syrups, right?
So you want to look for something that is either low-fat and low-calorie, or low-calorie, because at the end of the day, it's about the calories, right? We're trying to get the low calories. So
or
low
eat less of the full fat.
Or eat less of the full fat. That's
right.
Exactly right. So let's start here. So when you look at sugar, which tends to be the victim for a lot of different reasons, when you look at sugar, women per day are supposed to have about 25 grams of sugar, which is represented here. So this is
a couple of cookies.
A few cookies, right? This is all day's worth, though, right? And just 3 cookies. You look at the men, it's about 37 grams, which is about,
Guys can have more sugar than ladies.
A little more sugar, but only because of size. It's not a misogynistic thing. I don't want to. The issue is not men or women. It's just that men are bigger, so they're allowed to have more.
Right.
Okay.
More mass.
When you look at fat, for example, women have 65 grams of fat per day they should have, which is about half a cup of peanut butter.
It's a lot of peanut butter.
It's a lot of peanut butter, right?
Right.
Men, about, a teaspoon more. Okay, so about 85 grams. Okay, so I want to give you a reference of what you should allow to have or should be having per day.
That's
now,
your guideline.
This is your guideline
so
right
men
here.
are allowed a little bit more sugar and fat, but just based on mass.
Just based on body mass, okay? Now, let's look at our milk. Everyone goes to the store, you see 1%, 2%, whole milk. Jeez, it's confusing, right?
Skim, right, the skim, low fat. Right.
It's everything, reduced fat. Here's the idea. The idea is that whole milk, of course, has more fat in it. Therefore, it has more calories than something that is 2% reduced. What that 2% reduced means is that it's 2% less. Okay? So it's only 2% less. So if you...
But the full fat milk is only 3.
Right.
It's not a big difference between full fat and skim, 3%.
So if you look at the difference in grams of fat, the difference really is only a small little sliver.
A pat of butter.
A pat of butter, per se.
That big. Seriously.
Between whole fat and low fat or reduced fat milk. So the key here is to understand, yes, it is better to drink milk with less fat for adults, but don't think that all of a sudden you're getting this huge health boost by drinking, and then drink gallons of it.
That's how much you're saving.
That's right.
About 7 seconds on the treadmill.
At an incline of 3 going at 7 miles per hour. Okay, here we go. This is one of my favorites, dressing. Okay, people talk about dressing.
This drives me nuts. It's silly. It's just
crazy,
silly.
right?
And people think they eat a salad and it's healthy, then they pour
ruin it
on
with
700 calories of terrible dressing.
I say this all the time.
And creamy dressing.
And creamy. Okay, so this is our light, this is our whole. Now, if you would hear this, you would say, okay, light dressing, better for you, right?
Yeah, you think, oh, that'll make me skinny and it's saving me tons of calories.
So look at our regular dressing. Grams of sugar, it's about 16 grams of sugar in our regular dressing.
In a bottle dressing.
In a bottle dressing, 16 grams per serving. The light, 32 grams. The light has 30, so it's the equivalent of this. This is our taffy candy.
Yeah.
So this is the regular, dip it here.
Yeah.
This is the light.
It's like eating a bowl of candy on your lettuce.
That's the difference.
What's the point? Right?
So
that's so crazy.
Read the labels, look at the sugar, look at the calories, and of course, make sure that it makes sense and the fat.
Right.
Okay, lastly is...
This is my favorite.
Okay, this is our nice, healthy cereal, right? Morning cereal.
Granola, dried fruit, nuts.
Wonderful, right? Well, if you really take a look at it, this is our... Let's say our flavored cereal.
Right.
Right, we can't say any, this is our flavored cereal. Well, if you look at this, we're looking at calorie count of here.
Right.
118 calories in the regular.
Right.
Over 600 calories in the quote-unquote healthy cereal.
Right.
And when you look at the sugars on this, 24 grams in the flavored cereal, over 42 grams in the healthy
42
cereal.
grams in this. Can
In
I
this
help
right
you
here.
out with this and
Now,
show them
here's
what the equivalent is?
This is the amount of ice cream that would be in the regular cereal. This is what you would add to it to equal.
You'd have to have 2 scoops of ice cream in this bowl of the flavored fruities
To
versus
equal-
the same of granola. Is that nuts? Right.
Literally, is that nuts? But here's the key. Here's the take-home message. The take-home
Right.
message is, when you hear these healthy-sounding things, be your own food detective. It's not that difficult, guys. Look at the back of the label and look at what these numbers really do. Forget what it says on the front. Look at the numbers in the back
facts.
and
Right.
read the facts. It's not hard. Trust me. It looks confusing. You don't have to be a chemist to understand it. Please do that, and you won't make these kinds of mistakes.
Awesome.